Welcome to this episode's topic of leadership generation. Leadership, right? It's one of the things I'm most passionate about, and it's one of the topics I really want to get into because it's making a strong resurgence like craft beer. Beer's been around for 1,000 years, yet when you put your own take on it, it seems to taste a little better. Well, the same thing with leadership. True leadership is universal. It transcends backgrounds, culture, and economic wealth. We know it when we see it, right? It's people that we want to emulate. It's the folks that always seem to have the answers while everyone else has questions. They always seem to be right around the wins, right? So we can all agree that leadership's almost invaluable. Well, let's go a little bit further. There's a key distinction that I make when I talk about leadership. Leadership is leading people. Management is managing processes, right? So clearly a break here. I'll get more into that. Let's start our story. And our story is about the United States Marine Corps. We can all agree that an illustrious organization, not only within our U.S. history, but over time, 230 plus years of essentially being all over the globe, being in every spot, every clandestine place, right? And my question is well, how do they do it? What makes them so unique that we hear about all these positive things about that organization, and how do they keep it up? Well, the answer I found out was that leadership, right? They have instilled 14 leadership traits and principles in everything they do. From the day someone lands in boot camp and they get off the bus, they're teaching leadership. They've invested over $1 billion a year in this, and it's said that each Marine is $250,000 in a 4-year contract is invested in leadership. That's a very high propensity to throw into that and to say, what do they get out? Well, they get an organization where folks are thinking about ways to overcome it. Obstacles, issues, and so forth. Think about it. You have an 18-year-old person gets put in somewhere on the globe, and they've got to make decisions that may change that entire course of history, right? So, with that being said, yeah, I think we can all agree that it's pretty cool. Again, they're covering a lot of ground, but it still goes back to 14 basic principles. Well, let's take a look at your critical business initiatives, right? Top companies we know to generate revenues, they'll pay top dollar to headhunt the best leadership. Why? Because these leaders garner almost 5, 10, 50 times in revenues what their compensation is. That's amazing. So there's no really replacing great leadership, right? But not every company can afford that, right? Not every company can go out and get the best executives. And quite frankly, you need leaderships at all levels. So there's the play on words. You're trying to generate leaders, you're trying to generate generations of leaders, right? So what do? Again, we've modified the Marine Corps 14 leadership traits and principles. You can take a look at them. They're not your regular list. We're talking about decisiveness, tact, initiative, courage, right? So these are things that in our world of metrics, right, that really hone into, again, leading people. Not the processes, but leading people. Again, you can instill these into your company. And a company that, again, if you layer over in that leadership and you really garner that fostering of taking the initiative and having the courage to say so, you're going to get those people that fix the processes. You're going to get those people that fulfill a purpose and serve a higher calling. You're going to get those people that you're hoping to be decisive and elevate themselves to higher levels within your company. So with that being said, again, good leaders are invaluable to a company. Amy Reese Anderson said, bad leaders will destroy it. We have that. She's a writer for Forbes.com. It's a great article that really depicts what we're talking about here. And yeah, to optimize your company and to really grow your company and generate those revenues, you really need leaders at each level. And they'll be the ones that also find out ways to help you mitigate those costs. What are the costs or what are the rewards of that? Exponential. Let's just say that if you have great leaders, you're probably on the positive side of it. If you have bad leaders, you're probably on the negative side of it, right? So here's a shout out to the United States Marine Corps. Again, a group that's funded in Ton Tavern, right? Anybody that drinks beer, I'm a fan of. In fact, they're instrumental in my leadership and me being successful in the business world and instilling these 14 leadership traits. And then for all those that are serving abroad right now, we say thank you. I'm Les Hoffman, and until next time, build yourself the best case.